welcome to this precious live on Sunday. There is no better day to ruminate upon the magnitude of the sun that sustains us, the sun that is the giver of all life, the sun that is the solar logos. Okay, his Vedic mantra is Japa Kushuma Shankashang Kashyapeyang Mahadyuting Dhantaring Sarva Papaganam Pranotasmi Divakaram. His Bij mantra is Om Ram Reem Ram Sah Suryaya Namaha. And his directionality is east, of course. If you have a depressed sun in your natal chart, or if sun is an operational malefic, then you must understand how to work with the energy of the sun. So this is what this video will target, the significations of the sun in the Vedic system, how to counter a malefic sun. Okay, so like I said, sun is masculine, sun is diurnal, sun rules Leo, and sun's moon trikon house is 0 degrees to 20 degrees of Leo. Okay, now enemy planets of the sun, the Saturn and Venus are considered to be enemy planets of the sun in the Vedic system. Okay, so of course we understand Saturn and Venus, Saturn specially because Saturn rules Aquarius, so in the sun's position, the sun's house Leo, he is debilitated. So sun and Saturn also have a complicated relationship, although Saturn is the child of sun with Chaya. Chaya automatically means shadow. So we know that Saturn has to deal with the shadow of the sun. When sun is all light, when sun is all light, Saturn is the principle of negentropy, blackening. All right, so they're enemies. We understand that. Now, sun. Why are Saturn and Venus enemies? Sun and Venus enemies. Because sun is after all our spiritual light. We must understand that. Yes, the sun is our father, the sun signifies health, the sun signifies a lot in our natal chart. But the sun is also the spiritual reason we incarnate. And Venus is our 5 senses. It's how we enjoy the world through the 5 senses. So when you get too enmeshed in the 5 senses, you lose touch with why you are here. What is the purpose of this incarnation? There is a bigger tapestry at work here. So it becomes more difficult to zero down and to work through your own, karmic reasons to be here. Because Venus can enmesh you. Sun and Mercury are neutral. Friends of Sun, Moon, Mars, and Jupiter, right? Because there's something very interesting about the friendship of Sun and Moon, right? They are the archetypal polarities. Sun is Pingala Nadi, and Moon is Ida Nadi, right? So the Sun is Surya Mandala, Moon is Chandra Mandala. Chandra Mandala is actually above the Surya Mandala, right? So sun is Sattvic. Like I said, our soul's reason, right? Our soul's reason to incarnate. So that makes him very Sattvic. Venus is Rajasic. Saturn is Tamasic. So there's this, all the Mercury who is neutral to the sun is also Rajasic primarily. Mercury can sometimes, act as Rajasic as well as Tamasic, sometimes too Sattvic. But he is neutral to the sun. We have to understand that. He is neutral to the sun. Sun's friends are Moon, Mars, and Jupiter. Sun's enemies are Saturn and Venus. Right? It's not always easy to understand planetary enmities. For that, you need astrological, of course, a bend of mind where you want to, delve into the archetypes. You want to explore these archetypes more fully, more intuitively, right? So, as I said, his moon trikon is Leo, And yes, can you imagine that? Sun is sattvic, fiery, and belongs to the Kshatriya caste. So there's of course that Martian energy, and we understand that because Sun and Mars are friends. All right. Now, exaltation is Aries, as I've already explained to you. Aries 10 degrees. So debilitation or fall is the opposite. Libra 10 degrees. Okay. Now, Libra is of course the exaltation of Saturn, and the place of Venus, of course, the domicile of Venus, and bam, you have that Sun in fall in that particular place. Okay. Now, sex is male, like I said. His directionality is east. Okay. And a lot of people ask me about gem therapy. I do crystal and gem therapies as well. So you can book your natal chart with a specialized look at what gemology you need to work through. What are the gems that will really benefit you? Okay. And I also have a ton of crystals in my collection that I do sell, so including designs by me. All right, so now we've got directionality is east. So any and Sun always deals with the father and pitri karma. So difficult Sun will always see you having problems with the father, with the grandfather, with the male lineage. So for this you need to wake up every single day if possible, before the crack of dawn. You take a bath. The Sun is sattvic, so he likes things clean. You take a bath. His colors are golden, of course, orange, saffron, and light red. So I was gonna wear something light red, but I couldn't find my kurti, and I just had a student, and I just had some time off, where I decided not to get my dinner right away and come and make this, because I've made all the videos except Sun through Vedic astrology. Okay, Sun in Vedic astrology. So I really wanted to come out and tell you about the Sun. Okay. So now, ruby and garnet are very good crystals and gems to use for any kind of solar affliction. Like I said, that wake up on Sunday, if not all the other days, before dawn, take a bath, take a copper thali, and take a lota, okay, and fill it up with drinking alkaline water. Okay, now the Sun in Vedic astrology is known as Sarvadhipati. That means the ruler of all. Why? Of course, this is his solar system, right? So the Sun is bound to be the ruler of all. Okay. Now you get a lota, and in the lota you fill it up with water. Okay, and then you put some kumkum in the water. You put some jaggery in the water. Okay, and some sindoor. And now you don't have to mix them all together. You can take the copper plate and you can put, like, neatly, you have the lota with water, then you have the kumkum, you have the jaggery, and you have a pinch of rice. A pinch of rice, and the rest I told you. Now what you need to do is mix all of this. But you take a bath, you go out in front of the sun, but do not look at the sun. This is very important in Vedic culture. We do not just stare at the sun, especially when propitiating him. So you mix all of them, and this, I mean, is like almost at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. I don't know where sun rises in wherever you are. So you have to identify that exact time of sunrise. It can't be half an hour late, it can't be half an hour before. It has to be before that you wake up. So you get yourself clean, you brush your mouth, you get the lota, you get the water, you get all the things together, right? Do not look at the sun. Wearing a vastra, which is, as I mentioned, red, but pale red, not that bright Martian red, palish red. All right, and then you hold the lota, and then you have to offer that water to the sun, right? And you need to say this mantra. These are few names of the sun. And while you offer the water, you hold this hand right here. You hold the lota and you throw the water down. And you say, Om Mitraya Namaha, Om Ravaye Namaha, Om Suryaya Namaha, Om Bhanave Namaha, Om Khagaya Namaha, Khagaya Namaha, Om Pushane Namaha, Om Hiranya Garbhaya Namaha, Om Marichaye Namaha, Om Adityaye Namaha, Om Savitre Namaha, Om Arkaya Namaha, and Om Bhaskaraya Namaha. So as you're saying all these 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 names, right? 12 names of the sun. Right, as you're saying it, Om Mitraya Namaha, Om Ravaye Namaha, Om Suryaye Namaha, Om Bharave Namaha, Om Khagaye Namaha, so on and so forth. You have the water that you mixed up, the sindoor, the jaggery, and the pinch of rice, and you offer it to the sun. Okay, and then you leave. After, do not look at the sun. You propitiate the sun, tell the sun that please bless me. The other mantra, as I told you, Japa Kushuma Shankar Shankashipayang Mahaduting Kantaring Sarva Papa Ganam Pranotasmi Divakaram. This is a standard. If you can't do this mantra, you can do that. Or you can do the beach. Om Ram Reem Rom Sah Suryaya Namaha. Alright, and you do this 12 times, right? And this will really help you. Any kind of problems with the father wounding, unable to get a job, unable to, fight in the family, legal case, all of this, afflicted son, okay, all of this will go with this. Remember, very, very powerful remedy that I am giving you. What my ancestors have been doing for generations. Astrologers have been known to correct the energy of the sun, because that is why also in Western astrology the sun is so important. But we see so many people with real afflicted suns, and they can't really shine in the world or lead in the world. There's always this problem. Wearing ruby garnet will also help. So like just a ring, but the ring needs to be consecrated. Pran Pratishtha must be done to it. Okay. Now lucky numbers are 1, 10, and 19. Right? Now obviously that Sunday that you're going to do this falls on 1, 10, 19. You're going to get more benefits from that. Right? Now the deity to propitiate the sun is Shiva, fire, which is Agni, Rudra, Lord Narayana, and Satchidananda. So Rudra Puja is not for everybody. Again, Agni Puja is Homam basically. You can just do Agni, Om Swaha, and then other mantras for Agni, which I don't want to junk up over here. But basically, Om Namah Shivaya. Uh, yeah, yeah. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya will really help. Or Reem Ram Namah Shivaya. I gave you this mantra before. In this, what you're doing is you're using 2 beads of the sun, and you're saying Namah Shivaya, Om Pranava, Reem, which is the solar beach anyway, Shakti beach. Ram is Surya beach again. Om Reem Ram Namah Shivaya. So you're invoking Lord Shiva with the help of the sun. It's a very powerful mantra that you should try out. Okay, otherwise this beach is Om Ram Reem Rom Sa Suryaya Namaha. Okay, now donation articles. I've already spoken to you how in the Vedic system, when we have an afflicted planet, we can propitiate that planet through charity. Okay, very soon, maybe right now after I finish this, I will give you a little video on Lal Kitab. For I will be coming up with tons of Lal Kitab remedies for you guys, so you can really work through the astrology and not just know, okay, I have this problem, now what do I do? How do I solve the problem? How do I get to the crux of it? What next? What do I do? How do I optimize this? Okay, this I will do. So wheat is very good to donate. Copper, anything, even a copper ring or a copper kara to somebody, donate. Ruby, not everybody can donate ruby. Gur, which is again jaggery, very good donation to poor people, jaggery. Red cloth or red flowers like rose, hibiscus and all of that. Sandalwood, so you can give some sandalwood scent to a friend also who's almost like maybe somebody who's helping you out, and you can give them a little bit of sandalwood oil. Okay, that will also be very good. Khansari and saffron. You've got to do this at sunrise on Sunday. So the donated articles must go to the person you're donating to at sunrise on that Sunday. Remember that, okay? Now, appearance of the sun, like I told you, that there are appearances that the ancients have visualized for each planet. honey colored eyes, all right, square in shape, right? That's why we see a lot of Leo people, Simha Rasi people are squarish, all right. Short hair, sun burns out excess hair, by the way. Hyper irritability. Okay, thank you, Luca. A hyper irritability, weak eyesight. Problems with the sun gives weak eyesight. Okay, also gives a well proportioned body. Remember that, okay? But weak eyesight. You have an afflicted sun, you will suffer from some kind of eye problem. Okay, some kind of eye problem. And like you said, Luca, you have Venus ruled sun and sun, but you have to see your sidereal placements. Because if you have that sun in Taurus, no, you will still have it in Taurus and sidereal because it's at 28 degrees. And the sidereal is like about 24 degrees behind. Okay, so you will still have your sun in Taurus, but just at the beginning of Taurus, right? So again, that is an afflicted sun by itself. So humors and parts of the body that the sun rules, okay? Bile, wind, bones, knees, and navel. Navel is a very important center for spiritual development, okay? Navel, remember that. So even doing the mantras on your navel, it's going to accentuate the energy. So keep that in mind, okay? Ailments. What kind of ailments can you expect? Right? Heart disease, bone fractures. Especially if you have that sun as an operational malefic and you have that Antardasha. Say you have that Mahadasha and Antardasha of say sun and say, sun can be very complicated for people who have like an operational sun, operational malefic. The sun is an operational malefic for them. That can be quite complicated, okay? So it's always good to see what could happen, right? You could definitely get heart disease. Sun, Anahat Chakra, heart disease of all kinds, bone fracture, migraine. I've got a sun in the 12th in Cancer actually in my Vedic chart. And I've always had this rather peculiar problem with my right eye. My left eye is absolutely perfect, but my right eye is actually got something called cylindrical. Okay, so it's quite crazy how anybody with a sun affliction will face some kind of eye issues. Okay, also headaches. Remember that headaches of all kinds, migraines, cluster migraines. What are those other ones called? Classical migraines. Stress related headache, very, very possible with this. Okay, jaundice, fevers, burns, cuts, wounds, gonorrhea, poisoning, skin diseases, leprosy, bilious constitution, prone to vomiting. I told you even Mars makes one of bilious constitution. So you are prone to puking, right? Bilious constitution, anything, if there's too much pitta, then you will puke, right? That is something. So you need to balance that sun, that solar nadi, without which there will be no awakening. Remember that. Okay, but it gives a well proportioned body, however. Skin diseases of all kinds. Keep that in mind, even acne. All right, even acne, yeah, eye flow, absolutely, that's possible. Diarrhea, headaches, loss of appetite, because it's that hyper pitta burning sensation inside of you, okay? Even like a loss of appetite, but where you're eating incorrectly and you're gathering more pitta, so you're actually not eating the correct food to balance your sun. That's also important. You can eat a lot of oranges, they do lemons, they balance the sun. All right, herbs and all of that herb work in homeopathy is a completely different subject. But my grandfather was not only an astrologer, he also used to dabble in homeopathy. So that was one of his specialities, to diagnose and treat with astrology and homeopathy. And it does work. It's worked for me. So, like I said, that Sun Mahadasha, Sun Antardasha could be problematic. You have a problematic sun, operational malefic in the Kundli chart, and you have a better sun in the D9 chart. then yeah, it works better. Okay, D9 is when the uh, each sign is broken up into 9 parts. All right, yeah. Yeah, it's prone to puking. Believe me, it is funny, and I am. So anything here and there, and I'm like, I'm out there puking it out. So it's like, and I've pretty much been a teetotaler all my life. I've not really been into alcohol ever. Only after, like, my baby was born, and I just had some wine, and I'm not heavy for alcohol. Even sun weak people should really refrain from alcohol, because that's again another thing that really depresses the energy, doesn't allow the key to function. It's in my experience, I've seen this, huh? Like somebody with a Saturn heavy chart will possibly be able to handle alcohol better than a sun heavy person, because it just doesn't work. It creates a lot of pitta. So it's always good to balance sattvic, because sun is a sattvic planet. So eating correctly with the sun while you're doing surya namaskar, while you're chanting all these mantras, it's just gonna balance that solar energy that you receive from the sun with the first ray when you're offering that water in the lota, right? So keep that in mind. Mental issues could pop up with the sun, like any kind of mental issues, any kind of mental imbalance, any kind of even arrogance, or over I am it, I know it. All of that could happen. Ego problems. Right? What does the sun represent? Sun represents soul, the healthy ego, the concept of I am, I am what? Atman. Okay, Atman. Yeah, it does actually. Even caffeine you should keep down, because that could also completely, create havoc. Because also caffeine is known to create pitta. So that means, when you're belching and you have that whole hyperacidity, and you have that pain. Remember, the sun also affects the heart. So whatever you're doing, you could also be, affecting the heart if you're not careful. So that's something to look at. Atman, the Atma of a person, the soul of a person, right? Strength, doctoring. How do you doctor a situation? How do you work through it? The sun gives you a sort of a primeval intelligence, a very not a bookish kind of a knowledge, but a very primeval intelligence is what the sun imparts. And that first ray, receiving that first ray, becomes so very important. I can't receive that first ray, because I have clients that I work through in the night, and then oftentimes I can't wake up at the crack of dawn, and it really affects me those months when I just can't do that. And then I make time, and I wake up on Sunday, and I go take a bath and with cold water, because I tend to have an oil massage every day. I massage myself with sesame oil, and it's been too hot recently to do that, but I always oil myself and I take a bath with cold water, because I avoid warm or hot water. It creates more imbalance, and it does, warm water disrupts the aura. Obviously, if you live in a cold country, that is not something you can do, and that's absolutely understandable. But sadhus have known to bathe in the, near the Himalayas in subterranean temperatures. So it's absolutely wild what the mind can achieve. And I could never bathe in cold water. Yes, of course, Sun and Saturn are both really good to see how you will lead. Okay, even a lot of IAS officers, a lot of IPS officers do have a prominent Sun. It's because your leadership skills come into play. You have to be a good leader. What kind of a leader are you? So that is shown by the sun in your natal chart. You see the kundli, you see the potentiality that your sun has come with. Then obviously you hop onto the D9 chart to see how that potential is sort of translating into the normal, into everyday life. In my D9 chart, I'm also a Leo rising. And I've got all my planets in Leo. And also in my Kundli chart, I've got a ton of my planets in Leo. And of course, in my Western chart also. So, and that Sun, the ruler of all those planets, is in the 12th house. That's why I live in a spiritual world. Not to mention that my sun is in Satavisha Nakshatra, Satavisha Nakshatra being in Aquarius, Pada 1. Satavisha is the 100 healers. And yet Pada 1 is Pisces Navamsa. So that is why I've always resonated with the idea that I am a Pisces moon, like how I am in my Western astrology. And it was actually that I could not identify that, my grandfather said that your moon is in Aquarius. I couldn't identify with that. Later I understood that, okay, it is Pada 1, Pisces Navamsa ruled by Jupiter. So it made more sense to me because I don't operate as a I don't operate as Aquarius moon. Okay, although Satavisha is extremely pioneering, very scientific. However, it makes sense when I place that Satavisha moon in Pada 1 in Pisces Navamsa. It makes sense. Like, yes, I can finally be that Pisces moon I'm supposed to be. And in the Western system, I've got my moon at 11 degrees in Pisces. Okay, so it always made sense to me that I was indeed a Pisces moon. And I was kind of hurt in the beginning that no, I don't want to be an Aquarius moon. I don't want to be, in Satavisha Nakshatra. But it made sense when, it was Pisces Navamsa. So the story fits into place as you explore more and learn more. That's all I see. The more I study, the more I research, the more I work with astrology, the more layers open up. And that's what I do tirelessly all day, work with clients, study, read, meditate, channel. That's all I do, literally. I'm quite crazy that way, extremely focused because I have a very prominent Rahu energy. So Satavisha is the pinnacle of Rahu energy. So I have that thing going. Diarrhea, I almost forgot to mention. Because of this excessive pitta, there could be diarrhea. Okay? Sun afflicted people. There my dog has started. Shadow! No. I did not name him Shadow. He's actually a rescue, but he is my shadow, literally. Hey! Come here. What did I say? No barking. When I make videos, I will not get any subscribers if you bark when I make videos, right? So that's how you have to see, even in the nakshatra, what pada it is and what is the navamsa. Then it becomes even clearer, the whole story. So like I said, stomach, pitta, diarrhea, all right? Now, prominent qualities that the sun, a prominent sun. Yes, exactly. And sadhana that I do. I chant many, many times of my Guru mantra, which is my Bij mantra. And of course, I do many, many other mantras. I'm a Bagala and Tara and Kali sadhak primarily. But recently, I'm heavily into Uchishta Ganpati and Uchishta Matangi. And I'm also starting a Yakshini sadhana very recently. I've already done many Yakshini sadhanas over in the past. But I am back to doing some very interesting things actually. It's all because of, my students that are interested in this, and then I get back into it. So it makes sense. However, it makes you politically active, like, politics, makes you royal, aristocratic, of course. Because it is an aristocratic planet. It's the solar system, right? Also, it is a natural atmakarak. That means it holds your soul and its purpose. So always respect the sun. Without penetrating the mysteries of the sun, you cannot go out of the solar system. Don't drop my mic. Shadow, no. So, no. Come on. Up. Look, all the people who were watching have left because you started barking over there. Come on. No. There. What? So he wants to know about the sun too. My dogs are, now he's going to start a fight with my other rescue dog. All my dogs are rescues, and oftentimes when I foster another dog and they're gonna start such a fight with that dog, like why should you fight with that dog? I try to explain it to him, but he is a very naughty 11-year-old boy, so he doesn't listen, you know what I mean. Now remember, the sun is a natural atmakarak. The sun also signifies life, the solar logos. Okay, the soul, it is the source of life, heat and energy. So it represents that in us, how we lead, you know, how we want to be perceived actually in the West. That's what they say about the sun sign. However, it is a barren planet. So an afflicted sun can create infertility issues in both men and women. All right, it can create infertility issues in both men as well as women. All right, so that's something to think about. A lot of the infertility stuff is because of that Saturn and that Mars and that Rahu, but also because of the sun. If the sun is an operational malefic, then yeah, they're all female, they're all neutered, so there's no male or female. The black ones are all Rahu, black female dogs, but the big one is a Saturn. He's a boy, but he's neutered, so they're all, you know, like androgynous. No male or no polarities per se, but he's naughty. Now uh, quadruped, the sun. All right, now we will understand a few of the sun significations, the sun's karakas, right? I did actually want to come and have a proper live today, like, you know, wear that light red kurti, because I wanted to show you the exact color of the sun, but you know, I've had just so many readings, and I am now heavily into teaching workshops and puja workshops, and you know, how to do Shiv puja, how to do Kali Siddh sadhana, how to do Bagalamukhi sadhana. So it's taking a lot of time, so I couldn't like dress up, or you know, I just came, I didn't even do my hair, I just came like that because I had to get this video done, like, remember. So the sun signifies, what is the sun in your chart? It will signify your health, your father. Remember that. For women, their husbands, power, authority, fame, name. All of this is the sun. Whether you get a government, whether you get a government job or not, like you were asking, yes, very much the domain of the sun. Okay. Medicine also, all kinds of royalty, of course. Zamindars, landlords, people in big powerful positions are all sun related people. Okay. Medicine people, big pharma. Okay, big pharma is also Saturn, but medicine is also sun. You have to again differentiate between them. All right. So eye diseases, very important. Wool, wood or timber. All right, all of these people who work with wool or wood or timber must be connected to the sun heavily in their natal chart or the D9 chart. All right. Now, places of worship, ceremonial stuff, you go worship, you go pray. Like I was just explaining to you, the ritual to appease the sun. That's quite profound. It really helps. Watch this video. You know, once I'm done, go back to the beginning. You will understand the mantras and the procedures to appease the sun. Uh, so brokerage or commission also. So depending on your D9 chart and the sun's placement, if you're a broker or if you're depending on some kind of commission, the astrologer will be able to tell you whether it's coming or not according to your D9 chart. Now the 9 divisional chart is one D9, but there are many divisional charts. My grandfather used to at least go through 3 or 4 divisional charts for each client before he would, you know, he would, of course, the kundli was there, the janam kundli, but he would go through 3 or 4 different types of divisional charts just to understand the now of the client. But that is what divisional charts do. They give you the now, whereas the kundli chart is all about the potentialities that you come with. All right. So I do special D9 charts where I do special Vedic charts. I do mostly, I'm known for my combination charts, but I also do primarily Vedic charts Depending on if you're taking a basic, I'll do your Kundli and I'll do your D9 chart. If you're going for a more intermediate, I will do maybe look at two divisional charts for you. Ashtavarga you can look at, or whatever. If you go for the detail, then I also give you Lal Kitab stuff and Lal Kitab remedies. That's my Vedic reading. A lot of people want to know now, more interest is swirling on my Vedic reading, so I just wanted to put it out there. Blood circulation, any problems with blood circulation, even accidents oftentimes that disrupt blood circulation will be Mars and Sun, right? So paternal uncle, your father's brother, it's important for to understand his energy and his role in your life by looking at the Sun. uh, Service, sixth house, of course, hardcore service, loves the work aspect. Okay, also 10th house, right? Profession, 10th house. The sun does give energy to these places. Okay, now courage, patrimony, and honorable rank, whether you will be political or a big physician or a big speaker also. In many ways, a lot of times people who come out and show themselves in work, those people are sun heavy. Why? Because they want to come out and shine. More Saturn heavy people are like go behind the scenes, or like I am more behind the scenes because I was a screenwriter and a filmmaker. So I was more behind the scenes, yet I have this part of me that also wants to be out there. That's why I make videos, because after all, of course, the sun as well as the north node. Rahu, very important, but the sun totally shows your career. Very, very important for the sun. For you to understand your career, the sun. I just said the 10th house and the 6th house, you will understand also from the way the sun is placed in your Kundli chart or your Dina, and any kind of divisional chart that you want to work with, all right, or whichever astrologer you choose, they will have their particular favorite divisional chart. So mostly it's D9, but it doesn't have to be D9 chart. Okay, it's not a, per se a must. It can be any divisional chart. So honorable rank, I already told you. Forest, deserts, not deserts, sorry, deserts. Soul, power, strength, fires, bones, okay, and also stomach. So pitta, remember that. Profession, it's very interesting. Any kind of economic occupation. It's Venus, yeah, but also Sun. A lot of bank people will possibly be a blend of Venus and the Sun. Okay, blend of Venus and the Sun, good or bad. I mean, depending on if they're going to make a quick chit scan, then that's definitely an Sun as the operational malefic. People who also get notoriety. It's very interesting to see people who get notoriety. No comment. I have not looked at Mamta Banerjee's chart at all, actually, and I don't know. I don't know what the situation will be. I have predicted a lot of change, a lot of chaos. But yeah, I mean, there are someone very solid, Mohua. She's a very solid politician from Trinamool Congress. So I look forward for her leadership. However, so any kind of royal job, working as somebody even in the royal family, you have to have a strong sun. Any kind of appointment letter that you get, the sun will be involved. Okay, in that particular appointment letter, through aspects or through some kind of interaction in your chart. Okay, so magistrate, of course, ruler, administrators, deal in wool. Okay, wool. That's why also we do sadhana on kusa asan as well as woolen asan. Woolen asan is actually one of the best asanas to do sadhana in. So that is again the sun. You're taking the support of the solar wool. Its wool is solar. Commission agent, I explained to you, forest officers, teachers as well. Leo, teaching, some kind of interaction with children. Creator, period. All kinds of creator. Digital creators as well. Owner, surveyor, signaler, photographer, jeweler, designer, top corporate positions also. Although we associate, top corporate positions with a strong Saturn, but you gotta look at that sun. You gotta look at that sun, how that sun is in the Kundli chart, how that sun is moving through a divisional chart to get a proper understanding. So that was, I think, pretty much, thank you, pretty much a lot about the sun, in one go, a lot about it. Today is Sunday, and I did not have the time to make this video at the crack of dawn. This video should be, I should be live exactly as the sun is rising on the east. I should be able to, I should have made this video, but I did not have the time. Uh, you know, yes, it is like a class, and I'm going to come more often and teach you guys everything that I know, everything that my grandfathers from both sides have taught me, everything that my Guru Parampara has taught me. For my Guru has given me the go ahead and said that please go ahead and teach the world. Okay, it's literally your work to do. So I'm here to teach you how sattvic the sun is, how sun is, who are the friends of the sun, how you may appease the sun, how you may work through the sun. So all of this I'm here to do. But remember his Bij Om Ram Reem Rom Sa Suryaya Namaha. Alright, if you don't remember anything, Om Ram Reem Rom Sa Suryaya Namaha is the mantra for you, is the easiest. The rest I have all mentioned in this video. So once I cut it, you can always have a look back and you can, take what you need. Thank you so much. See you again, hopefully. Thank you. Take care and speak soon.